Really, what I'm going to focus on is before retirement and how we go from just spending our paychecks to a purpose of accumulating assets and building towards that retirement and the other financial commitments that we have in life, and being able to meet those commitments, not only for ourselves, but also for our loved ones, our family, friends, and the relevant people that are out there that we need to care for. We want to really focus on starting early. Okay. And I love this illustration. It is the illustration of Lisa, who starts contributing at age 25, $100 into an investment account. And she does this for 10 years through age 35. So over a period of time, she contributes $12,000, but then she stops. And this is assuming a 7% rate of return. So when Lisa gets to age 65, that $12,000 contributed between age 25 and 35 has grown to $130,000. And this is a great example of why it's so important, because Bill postpones and does not invest from age 25 to 35, but he does pick up and start investing at age 35 through age 65. So he has 30 years of accumulation, $36,000, 3 times the amount of accumulation put into the investment account. But because he has the shorter time of compounding at 7%, that $36,000 grows to about $13,000 shy of what Lisa has in her account. There's 2 things that I don't like about this illustration. First off, what if Lisa continued to contribute for the 40 years instead of just the 30? Well, the math's very easy. It's a combination of the 130,945 plus the 117,6. So Lisa, if she had continued, would have over $248,551 in a savings account, retirement account. The other part that I don't like about this is it doesn't give an inflationary increase. You know, when we first start, we all make a living and hopefully it's enough to cover, and we can save some. But as we go through our professional progression, hopefully we're making more, and that $100 would increase to $200 and $300 and progress to where we don't have approximately $250,000 at age 65, that number is really more like $500,000, $750,000, $2 million, depending on how our earnings grow, and that we continue to put money away. So really, it's critical at the beginning of our career. If you've got kids, grandkids, you've got young people that you're mentoring, getting them to start today is absolutely critical. And they're always going to ask the question, how do we start saving? And what do we got to do? And I say it's first and foremost, it's incredibly important to create an emergency fund. The vast majority, half of all Americans, cannot lay their hands on $500 in case of expenses, which is a tragedy. Any kind of car or house repair or almost anything costs $500, and you don't want that to create financial distress. So what we want to do is we want to emphasize the fact that we have in savings 3 to 6 months of monthly living expenses, either in a checking account that earns typically 0, or we've got it in a savings account or a money market account that's earning some interest, but that is safe, that we know through all the market ups and downs, like what Ryan was talking about earlier, that if we've got, and I use this kind of as a rough number, I think if you've got $15,000 to $25,000 set aside and saved, you've got a really good foundation to take care of when the water heater breaks, or the car needs to be replaced, or somebody has to go to the hospital and cover a deductible. It's really important that we have that emergency fund. And the way that we get there is we start by saving at least 10%, but more like 20% of our salary, and then spending the rest. And once we've got that saving component put away, going back on this compounding growth, when we take a look at what you could see the difference and the effect of compounding interest, compounding growth, when we looked at the difference between what Lisa had versus Bill, because they simply started earlier, that is nothing more than the difference of compounding interest. And then if you add on that you're doing an increasing in savings, you get this snowball effect. And all of a sudden, what you thought was an impossible amount of money is possible. It's available, and it happens. But it is delayed gratification out of all this, which is why financial planning is something that we need to be doing on young kids and getting them to understand that, hey, if we do some chores, you get paid. And if you're getting paid to do chores, oh, by the way, yes, you get to go buy some cool stuff. We're going to take some of that and we're going to put it into a savings account. Understanding that in your 20s, you've got to have this foundation. Everybody talks about a credit score. Credit scores are actually very easy to have a good credit score. You just have to pay your bills on time. Nothing wrong with having a credit card. Just make sure you pay the credit card off every month. And as you go through life, what are the changes that are out there? You get married, you need to have wills, you need to have some different things that are out there. So, in final thoughts, it takes perseverance and it takes attention. If you don't accumulate financial assets, you're not going to have to worry about anything because you're not going to be able to make any decisions. But if you focus on having control, persevering, then apparently you are focused on things and you're seeing things, and you need to continue and realize it's a plan. And those plans are going to change over a period of time. Life changes, brings us new things. Anything that we can do to have a wide-ranging conversation with you about your financial plan, the things that you need to implement in your life, this is what we at Shadow Ridge are here to do. Work with a great team. There are no absolute answers. What we like to do is bring just suggestions and thoughts and different ways of looking at your finances to the table.